Hello everyone, and today we are playing You Know the Drill. We are this little mining drill who has to go around collecting as many resources as we can to get upgrades and make ourselves better, faster and stronger in every way imaginable. Currently we are just in a nice little copper mine, floating about trying to grab as much as we can in the time frame that we have left, which is just about to run out. Well, we've managed to grab ourselves 25 kilograms of copper before we run out of power. That did let us get away with $25, which we can start putting into our upgrades. To start with, we are going to increase our time by 10 seconds and increase our mining damage by 4. As we know, more time and more damage is the perfect way to start out one of these games, as it does just allow you to scale quite a lot faster than most other upgrades. We do currently have to hope that the ores spawn in a way we can see them. Because we don't have the best visibility currently, we can go into sections where we do just run out of enemies, and we did manage to max out our storage before the time period, so we did finish the run early there. As we manage to max out our backpack, we will increase it, and we'll increase our ore spawn rate as well, just so that we don't run into situations where there was no ore on screen again. With that run, we did come away with having a total of $43 on us. We didn't manage to fill our backpack up, so we are going to add a bit more time again, and we can increase the sell value of our copper, which just makes us more money, as we know, and we're going to add that in with increasing our lantern size by 6% and giving us a small amount more movement speed. While the movement speed isn't particularly noticeable just yet, over time that will add up to saving us quite a lot. It is definitely something that we can put more money in as we go, but I feel like we definitely need to add some more damage in, as taking 6 hits to destroy one of these ores isn't particularly great so far. We did fortunately manage to break that ore just before the time ran out, so I do think it kind of let us have that one more than it probably should have. But we came away with 1 SP, which we used to unlock the overdrive, and we do have $51 total, so we are going to increase our damage twice, which is an extra 8 damage. So we are now up to doing 22 damage. The overdrive we can just use to speed ourselves up. It does take a few seconds to recharge, but as long as we don't just hold it, it works really well. It does take a second to charge, so we kind of want to start using it before the final hit starts, just so we can get the full advantage out of it. But we are now down to 4 hits to destroy a rock, which is definitely a big increase from where we were at. With that $62, I do think it'll be worth us adding an extra 4 damage on again, and then increasing our inventory. While I don't think that we're going to fill the inventory this time, it at least gets us set up for the next one. Especially as we are still taking 4 hits to destroy the copper, we are going to cut it a little bit close, but that does just mean 1 more damage upgrade will get us down to 3, which is a really good spot to be in currently. But we did get 66 kilograms worth there. We would have maxed it out had I not moved away that little bit at the start, but we will use that to max out our mining damage and increase the sell value again up to 1.2. This does now put us very easily into 3-shot in the copper ore, so we are definitely going to make a good amount of money on this run, especially with our increased value of copper ore. Does mean we're probably going to want to increase our backpack next, so that we can definitely take full advantage of the extra sell value. There we go. So we do now make double value from our copper, so we should now scale just a little bit faster, and we are closing in on being able to move on to the iron mines once we get another 16 upgrades purchased. We do still have $94 left over, so what I might do is I might just put that into time and inventory space, just to give us as many upgrades done as possible. I don't think we're going to be able to take advantage of that extra time that we got, because the backpack didn't scale with it as much, but just being able to get them done will put us in a good position for later. As we see there, we came away with quite a lot of time left over and quite a good amount of money made as well. I do still think I want to try and max out our battery life just so that those upgrades are finished for us. We will work on the inventory next, just so it's finally finished and we've got a lot of space and time to fill in, which will just help us make more money. We just come away with $200 there, so we are going to max out our inventory size. And I think what I might do is I might work on upgrading the lantern to max as well. I feel like we should put the rest between movement speed and ore spawning, just to try and negate that movement penalty we are going to get. I do want to try this iron mine. We are significantly slower and weaker, with it being 5 hits to destroy the ore now, but there is an awful lot more of it, and I'm hoping it is going to be worth significantly more. So we did manage to nearly max out our backpack, getting 122 out of 130 grams, but it looks like we made $600, which is a substantial increase on the last run. So we can definitely stay in this iron mine for just that little bit longer. We are going to put 2 upgrades into our damage and a further 5% into the ore spawning chance. I'm hoping that extra damage might knock down the amount of hits it takes on the iron ore, which it did, because we are now down to 5 hits, down from the 7 that we were at. So it does mean we should be able to hopefully get away with a full backpack this run and make even more money. This spotlight is definitely bigger and it definitely makes it a lot easier to see when we're in the center of it, but we do spend quite a lot of time at the corners of the screen, which does make it not show us quite as much, so we do still need to increase that. And we did manage to max out our backpack, so we came away with another SP. With that $600, I am again going to put 1 upgrade into our damage, max out our ore spawn chance, and then put the rest into maxing out our movement speed. We do just have a little bit left over, so I think it'll be worth us getting 2.5% crit chance and a chance for sapphire gems. Does only take 3 hits to break a sapphire, so I assume this will be used for a different currency, and it is going to be a bit of a balancing act between picking up the iron and picking up the sapphires. But currently I kind of just want to grab as many of the sapphires as we can, just so that we're off to a good start with those upgrades, because we can always make more money later. It's not really that big of a problem for us. There are definitely, especially on this run at the very least, more sapphires on the screen at once than there are iron, so we can use the sapphires to unlock the laser, and we're then going to increase the yield we get from them. We do need quite a lot more sapphires to keep getting these upgrades, but I think it is going to be, we want to aim for about 50 of them next run, and the rest being iron. We're going to use $150 to increase the sell value of our iron as well, just so that we can make a little bit more money. Okay, so the laser does just attack random things. There doesn't seem to be any rhyme or reason for what it attacks just yet, and we do get given all of the ore if it does manage to destroy something, no matter where it is on the screen, so that is quite nice. So we do just have random bits of ore flying at us, as you can see there, so we do just need to not concern ourselves too much. But it does make it very easy to max out our backpack, which means that we can do a little bit of both of these, increase the sell value once and then add 2 onto the laser damage and a little bit of crit chance for it, because while it was strong, it wasn't one-shotting them. I've just seen that we can buy some explosive crystals, and I am going to waste all of our money on that because that does just sound fun. I'm going to assume it's probably quite a low chance to happen, but if we see it, we'll definitely want to crash into them. Ooh, and as I say that, there is a ton of them next to each other. Their explosion range could definitely be a bit bigger, as honestly, while they are definitely weaker and easier to kill than some of the other stuff, they don't really do that much for us. So until we upgrade them just that little bit more, we're probably not going to put that much attention into them. But we can then increase the damage of our laser by 3 and increase the sell value of our iron by 1 as well. So I did ignore collecting the sapphires this run just because I was not getting very much money on the last couple of runs, so we are going to use the sapphires we did get to increase their yield again, and we're going to increase the mining damage from our drill, and then we'll just increase our movement speed by 1 as well. Just a couple of little upgrades to help us out. It is still 4 hits to destroy one of these rocks unless we crit, so we do still need to put some more money into our damage just to try and get past that. And there we go, that is our mining damage maxed out, and another level into our sapphire yield and the crit chance on it. We do definitely need to make a good bit more money and more sapphires. I'm hoping we can make the laser attack more often, so we can give it more lasers, because it does seem very good, but it's a little bit slow at the moment. And I feel like because we can increase our mining collection radius, there is definitely going to be things that it's blowing up outside of our range, so we may want to work on that shortly as well. But definitely we need to increase our iron yield and our sapphire yield in these next couple of runs. The laser is definitely destroying stuff outside of our range, because there are times where I have been flying around and just resources just come flying in off of the screen that weren't already on their way. So we do need to definitely increase the collection radius soon as well. We are definitely going to do the sell value first, just because we are maxing out our resources, so we might as well make as much money from those as we can. So we have now maxed out our sapphire yield up to 300%, and in that time we did manage to get our sell value up to 8.5 for our iron. We'll use the rest of our sapphires to increase our laser damage again, but we do definitely just still need $2,000 to upgrade our iron value up to full. We could turn off the sapphires just so that we're just getting iron ore, but we do still have a fair few of those upgrades that we want to work on. So I think it's currently just worth us not intentionally mining them and just taking whatever we get from the laser. So we managed to max out our iron sell value, which means that next is a gold mine, so we could start working on those sell values, but at the moment I have other things I'd like to spend that money on, like increasing our crit chance by 5% and giving us a bit more movement speed, because we do still feel a little bit slow. Using those sapphires we have collected, I'm just going to make it so our crit damage is increased by that little bit on our laser. I am going to spend the 3 SP we have on unlocking emeralds, which will unlock the ability to get mining drones. So we are just diversifying even further, which could make it a bit more difficult to get the money upgrades early on, but more ways to deal damage for now is always good. I have just got a good amount of the emeralds to start with, same as we did when we first got the sapphires, just so that we can get a few upgrades going very quickly and let us be able to properly see what we are spending our time collecting. So we are going to upgrade our critical strike chance again up to 7.5% and increase our movement speed and the size of our lantern. We're going to use our sapphires to increase our laser damage again, and then we are going to use our emeralds to finally unlock the mining drones, and we'll increase the yield value of the emeralds as well. So I don't think we want to upgrade the damage straight away, we kind of want to see how they do. And he is just a mini version of us that just comes out every now and then. He does only do 7 damage off rip, but if we can get our collection range high enough, it won't really matter whereabouts they're collecting, as long as they are damaging anything really. So we'll increase their value again up to 140% and increase the critical strike chance of our lasers up to 15%, and we'll put the rest of our money into an extra 5% critical strike chance. The critical strike chances do definitely happen more often. They are the red numbers that do turn up, and we just had 2 back to back there. So we can definitely see that the percentage is adding up, but definitely not as fast as I would hope. So we are going to give it an extra 2.5%, which is most of our money currently, but if we can just destroy things faster, we'll make our money faster. We then upgraded our lasers damage and increased our emerald yield and gave our drones that little bit of extra damage as well, so that he is now doing 10 damage up from the 7 he was doing a moment ago. I'm going to then save up for the increase in the laser amount on our sapphires, just because that sounds like fun. Then increase our critical strike chance by a further 2.5%. and the yield value of our emeralds again. So we can now buy the upgrade to unlock a second laser, and I kind of feel like I want to save up just to max that one out rather than these little upgrades to start with. We are still just dumping our money into getting more critical chance because I kind of want that up to 25% just so it is as often as possible, and we are still upgrading the yield of our emeralds as well just because getting more of them for the same weight usage is fantastic. You can definitely tell the laser is going off more often, but as it is mostly destroying stuff off screen, I'm not getting the full value out of it. I am still going to throw whatever upgrades I can into getting more of them, which will be a bit of a slow process because I'm not just prioritizing it, but that does mean I definitely need to work on getting the magnet upgrades after I've finished our critical strike chance, because hopefully that means by the end of it we can get our magnet to pull in resources no matter how far away they are from us. And there we have it. That is our critical strike chance maxed out at 25%. I could then work on our crit damage, but I don't really think that's necessary just yet. I feel like a magnet upgrade will be more useful. Once we did a magnet, the minimap sounds like it would be quite fun as well, but we're going to max out our emerald yield and then dump more damage into our drones, and we're still only about 80 off getting our second laser. Our drones are now up to doing 15 damage, so they are starting to catch up to us. So once we max them out, they will be doing more than we are again. It was a very mixed bag, so we don't really get very many of one type of upgrade, but that is again another collection radius increase, another laser, and another upgrade to our drone strength. I'm also going to increase our drone's movement speed and let them live a little bit longer, just because it feels like it would be a nice couple of upgrades to get. We do need 450 sapphires to unlock the final laser, but we can now try the gold mine out as well, which does mean we move even slower again, but hopefully the value of everything is scaled enough that it doesn't feel as bad. Our laser just flying about one shot and everything definitely does help out quite a lot. We did come away with a total of $1,000, which does get us one magnet upgrade. We can use our emeralds to get 2 strength upgrades for our drone, and I kind of want to add some more speed to us, so I am going to spend that money we did save up, which should have gone to a magnet, but make us move a little bit more because that 40% movement penalty is starting to add up and does feel kind of bad. When you see how much faster our little drones are than us, even when we overdrive, we are trudging along, struggling to cut through this dirt. We aren't getting very many sapphires because I'm not really trying to get them. As we've now maxed out our magnet, we are then going to increase the ore spawning chance and try again. Even in overdrive, it is 6 hits to destroy a gold ore. It is, without the drone, it is 8 hits. So we do definitely need more damage as well. We don't need more time yet because we are maxing out our bag still very quickly, which we could change by putting some money into it, which I will do. I'll add some more into there and increase our lantern size. We are still 41 away from getting our third laser, so we'll hold off on that, but we'll just put some more into our drone strength again. You can definitely feel how much bigger the backpack is now, just because we haven't already maxed it, but hopefully all these lasers and drones will mean that we are still able to max this out without too many troubles. So we do now have $2,000, 234 emeralds and 600 sapphires. So that does mean we can max out our third laser. If we can get one more skill point, we can make it so they have infinite piercing, but we'll just increase the width of our laser in the meantime and then work on its cooldown. We are going to spend our money increasing our damage by a little bit because we were falling quite far behind, and spend the rest increasing our inventory size and our lantern size. Using our emeralds, we will max out our drone strength and give them that little bit of crit. That little bit of damage does not feel like it did a whole lot for us. If I spend the time to intentionally go through through the holes made by the lasers and the drones, I do move substantially faster. So we did just upgrade our movement speed again, our backpack size and our critical damage, and we are going to increase our laser width again and decrease its cooldown. And using our sapphires, we will increase their life by a further 4 seconds and make them move a little bit faster as well. Look how fast that drone moves. We really are just here to collect resources now, because we are so weak and slow in comparison to everything else. Definitely give the vibes of a capital ship in space combat games. So we can max out our lasers width and give ourselves another cooldown reduction, so it's down to 2.8 seconds, down from 3. We can't get any more damage with our money, so we are just going to max out our lantern and put a ton into our backpack, as well as a little bit more ore spawn chance. We'll add an extra mining drone and then increase their lifespan again, just because having more of those little guys out at once will definitely be better for us with how slow we are compared to them. Considering it was a very small upgrade to the lasers cooldown, you can definitely see it going off substantially more often, and I am all here for that. So we increased our mining damage again and bought another drone and maxed out its lifetime, and then we'll spend the rest making it move 3 times faster. Look at that little missile go! So we do need the minimap, I think. That will probably help us out. We'll max out our lasers cooldown reduction and we'll buy the 3rd drone and increase its movement speed. We might as well increase its critical strike chance just a little bit as well. We do now have a minimap down in the bottom corner, which does just show us what is around us, which honestly is a really big upgrade, especially with how much of the map we are clearing out. Not that it seems to make much difference for us, because I am managing to be beat to everything. When they do say automation upgrades, they definitely mean it. That is insane. So we can now get the infinite piercing on our laser and give it another 15% crit chance. We might as well give it an extra 5% critical damage as well. We're then going to give ourselves a compass to the nearest crystal and put the rest into increasing our inventory size again. We do have a little bit outstanding that we'll put into our ore spawning chance. We can max out our drone's movement speed as well using our emeralds. We have just spawned and half the map has already been wiped out. It does currently feel like I'm definitely just here to float about and collect, which I didn't see any more collection upgrades to bring in like more magnets or anything like that. We haven't been doing the gold yield. We'll increase our crit strike by 1 and we'll increase our drone's crit strike and chance as well. I can't believe I haven't been doing the gold upgrades. I thought I'd already done them. Oh no, I have wasted so much time on that. I think just the innate value increase from moving from the iron to the gold made me forget to do it, because it was just always worth so much more than the previous one. Even, yeah, we doubled the value for that tiny amount of upgrades we've done. So let's get another 3 upgrades on it, another 2 to our crit chance, nearly max out our drone's crit chance. We should be able to max out our gold yield in the next run, as long as we don't get shafted by very bad gold spawns. But we did come away with 6,000 gold, which will definitely let us max out the gold yield. We can then upgrade our damage again and then increase the ore spawn chance. We managed to max out our lasers crit chance and put a couple into its crit damage. And same for the drones as well. We're definitely furthest behind on the gold upgrades, so we are just going to try and fly towards as many gold pockets as I can see in the minimap down here. But worst comes to worst, it said that I could turn off the spawns of the emeralds and sapphires, so it won't be that bad to catch up afterwards. So we can max out our mining damage. We'll put more into the backpack and our critical damage, put 3 into our lasers crit damage, and another 3 into our drone crits damage. So we should, if we have another run like we just did, be able to max both of those out. The amount of ores that come in at the start when everything just spawns is so nice. It does definitely feel like it slows down a bit, but it's probably just a bit more spread out because all of the ores nearby have been destroyed. So that is the laser upgrades done, the emerald upgrades done, apart from their own inventory, which we can't do, and a further 4 upgrades to our inventory. We are going to turn off the sapphires and emeralds, so it should just be tons of gold dotted about. These definitely do take a bit more damage to destroy, so it will take a little bit longer for us to clear the levels. I don't think we should run into very much trouble with it. I was right, it is definitely slower just because of everything having more health, but the amount of gold we are going to be minted. And there we go, that is a full inventory and we get 26,000 gold. That will definitely get us a few upgrades, starting with maxing out our inventory size, which did use 14,000, so it is expensive, but definitely feels worth it. We're then going to max out our critical damage, our XP boost, and then add an extra 35 seconds of time. I do wish that the mini-map would show the ore that's on the floor as well, just so that I would know that there has been a load of destruction somewhere, just as a hey, you want to fly past this area quickly. Otherwise I will get a time where I am just aimlessly floating looking for wherever the ore drops or the ore spawns have been, because look how empty this mini-map is now, and so I am just looking for wherever the spawns have been to try and max out our bag. We did just about manage to do, but so we are going to max out our second XP boost so we can try and get the final SP we need for that. We'll max out the explosion radius of those explosive crystals, which will then give us a speed boost when they explode near our drill. We'll max out the ore spawning chance again, so it's now up to 75%. Max out our battery time and make it so that we can pick up batteries to increase our time. I don't know if that's going to be really worth us spending money on just yet, because we're not really having that many problems with time. It's just more finding the ore. So we'll give ourselves a 150% speed boost and we'll put the rest into a little bit of overdrive recharge and overdrive movement speed. The pickups are fairly obvious. They are just lightning bolts that are on the floor. You would have seen it next to that ore. Nice and easy. It's right there. Definitely something for us to keep an eye out for. With them being an extra 5 seconds, it definitely makes them worthwhile to swerve slightly out of the way to go and collect, just because they more than make up the time lost. So we just increased the boost duration and maxed out that they now restore 55 seconds of time, which definitely feels like a little bit of overkill. We can increase our movement speed while in overdrive up to 175% and make it recharge and do that little bit more damage. You can definitely feel that movement speed increase, both just from the explosion and while overdrive. Definitely am a fan of that. By the look of it, we are still limited to our maximum time, so collecting this doesn't put us up to 2 minutes 55, so that is something for us to consider. Not that it makes that much point ignoring them, because I'm not going to go all the way back to the top left of the map to pick one up. I definitely feel like that was an upgrade I was meant to work on earlier, where I was prioritizing. That did give us the option to put the drones in their own inventory, which may increase the amount of money that we can hold if they have their own as well, but we shall see. And we can max out our recharge rate and make it so that we can pick up a nitro and that nitro, and we can max out the final overdrive damage upgrade. So we've got the overdrive there, so it is just a 40% recuperation on our overdrive, which honestly is a sizable return. It being a percentage is amazing. I was concerned it might not be, but absolutely fantastic. And then when you mix it with the just innate movement speed from a explosive rock, you can go really fast. We do still run into a little bit where we do have to unfortunately stop using it just because of how spread out those bonuses are. The next time that this is played should probably make sure we do the overdrive upgrades earlier, because they were incredibly cheap, but they're also really quite powerful. And that has been You Know the Drill. You can wishlist this game on Steam in the link in the description, and I shall see you in the next one.